Hey everybody, it's Anna. Welcome back to my art channel. Thank you so much for being here. So today I'm painting a couple of vases, and it's been a while since I've done vase pours, but I'm very excited to try it. So I got these glass vases at Dollar Tree, so that's a great inexpensive place to find them. When I paint vases, I use apple barrel pouring medium. I find that that's the best pouring medium for the paint to all stay in nice layers as you're kind of ring pouring it on. So I've tried with Floetrol, I've tried Liquitex pouring medium, and apple barrel pouring medium is my favorite for vases. And if you want to know how I finish my vases, you can watch this video here. So I've got two different color schemes. The first one is kind of emerald inspired. So I've got some beautiful turquoise and some phthalo green and some metallic sea mist, and then some metallic copper and some white to go along with that. And then my second base is going to be more sort of like maroon and purple, very rich and luxurious. Whoops. So I've got Rouge and purple Pansy, and then to go along with those two nice dark colors, some white and some metallic gold. So I have to reset just a little bit so that you can really see the vase painting process well. So let me reset and then let's make a painting. So let me just show you the consistency of my paint. Do you see how thick that is? Obviously you want it to be able to flow, but I also wanted it to be about as thick as it could possibly be, because the thicker it is, the better the colors will hold their shape. And there are a lot of air bubbles in this paint because I mixed it pretty fresh. So I've been tapping the cups and just torching a bit to try to pop those air bubbles as I can. On a vase, sometimes air bubbles will stop the paint from flowing down, so it can mess up your design a little bit, but I'm not going to worry too much about it today. I'm going to be putting my paint into this little silicone cup. It's a 3-ounce cup, but it's really more like a 4-ounce cup, and I like that it's got this nice little spout so I can pour it out really well. All right, so let's layer this up. My white is probably the thickest of all my paints right now. I had trouble getting it thin enough because there wasn't enough space in the cup, but hopefully it will be thin enough for this. So I'm going to be pouring this as a ring pour. I'll pour about half of the paint out, and then I'll go ahead and cover the vase so that then as I pour out the second half, it covers really well. Okay, let's go ahead and help this paint cover a bit. Well, this is looking really pretty so far. Now do you see all these little kind of spikes? That's where air bubbles have stopped the flow of paint. So you can use your torch and torch along the side of the vase, and that can help pop those air bubbles and make it flow better. I think I've got enough coverage. I'm going to pour out the rest of this, and I think it'll flow well enough. So let's finish it up. I love watching that wave come down. Now I'm going to try to center this top just a little bit. Stretch it a bit, center that ring. Ooh. Make sure it's totally flat. I'm going to torch really quick while the paint is flowing. Well, I think that gives you a pretty good idea of what this vase is going to look like. It's most of the paint that's going to run has gone ahead and dripped off. It's going to flow a little bit more over the next few minutes, but I think it's time for me to reset and do the next vase. Okay, time for the second vase. So my colors here are just so beautiful. And I added a bit more of the apple barrel pouring medium to my white, so it's a little bit thinner than it was for the first vase. It's still on the thicker side, but it flows a little better. Let me show you. We want it to flow, but thickly. And I've got another silicone cup, so let's layer this up. That looks like a nice cup of colors. Okay, let's go ahead and pour it out. So you can see there's very bold layers right at the beginning, and then it kind of gets more muted as it goes in. I don't know if my paints were thinner here, but I've lost my white. It's not as distinct. Let me torch. I really want the white to be a noticeable part of the vase, so I'm going to add a little bit more to the cup. And just a little bit more of the rouge and the gold as well. So it's just a small amount of additional color, not a whole lot. Okay, let's pour out the rest. I'm really liking the pattern that's right here, so I stopped because I know that that's going to stretch way down. If I kept going, I would probably lose all of that. So I want to tilt a bit off the top. Whoops. This is the hardest part, getting it to stretch around the top, but then still ending up with a nice level vase afterwards. I think that's pretty level. Let me go ahead and torch. So I can tell that I've got something right in here, a lump of some kind that's stopping the paint from flowing. At least that's what it looks like, but I can't actually find it, so maybe not. So this is looking really cool. Let me see if I can turn this, because the back side, I think looks really cool. Look at those amazing pink and purple swoops. Love that. Well, I'm really happy with how both of these vases turned out, so I'm going to let them dry for a few days, and then I will be back to show you how they look. Okay. It's been about 3 days and they're dry to the touch. Isn't that pretty? So the copper did get kind of toned down here by the white, so it's not really bold, but it's just sort of dreamy and beautiful green. Now, obviously, because the different green colors that I used, they were all very similar in tone. There's not a lot of contrast here. So it's just sort of a peaceful green vase. So then here is the purple and maroon one. So this one's really pretty. I love the dark, rich colors. And then you can see bits of that gold shining. And the gold will show up even more once I've got the clear spray coating on it. But you can see some of it now, and the bottom is really pretty. Just lots of detail there, swirl at the bottom. So there's that one. I just think it's really cool. And then, surprise, surprise, I had some leftover paint, so I did a third one off camera, and this might be my favorite of the bunch. I just think it's a gorgeous blend of all of the colors that I used. I love that copper. It's nice and rich and full. And then just dreamy here. And then the layers here are so cool. So this is probably my favorite of the three, but we've got a nice little match set. Green, pink, and one that's a mix of both. So thank you for joining me for this vase painting video. And as I mentioned before, you can watch the video that I've made on how to finish a painted vase without resin. You'd use a spray coating, and I've got the whole process. So you can click the link in the video description box to watch that video on how I finish these. But thank you guys for joining me. I had a lot of fun painting these vases with you. I hope it inspired you to try something new. Let me know down in the comments, have you ever painted vases like these? I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!